Welcome back, wrestling fans, to Wainsider, your home for deep dives into the stories, betrayals, and unforgettable moments that shape the history of this business. Tonight, we explore one of the most shocking chapters in the saga of the Anoa'i family, a tale of legacy, loyalty, and ultimately, destruction. The bloodline has always been more than just a faction. It was a statement, a family united by heritage, bonded by dominance, and fueled by the pressure of living up to an empire built on blood. Roman Reigns stood at the top, not just as tribal chief, but as the embodiment of that power. From the very beginning, we watched the bloodline rise with an iron grip on WWE. Roman Reigns ruled with authority, but his empire was never built alone. Jey and Jimmy Uso fought to elevate him. Solo Sikoa, the quiet enforcer, added muscle to the dynasty. And every victory came with an echo of tradition, a reminder that this family carried more than just titles, they carried history. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. But history always carries shadows. For every celebration, there was resentment. For every "acknowledge me," there was silence from those who wondered when their own time would come. The bloodline was power, but it was also pressure that crushed some and twisted others. Solo Sikoa stepped into the spotlight as the next big thing. WWE pushed him as the heir to Roman's empire, but behind the curtain, there were whispers. Was Solo truly ready? Could he carry the weight of the bloodline's future? Or was he just a placeholder until someone greater arrived? That someone greater came in the form of Jacob Fatu. For years, fans begged to see him on the main stage. Known for his brutality, intensity, and unmatched charisma, Fatu was the storm always waiting to strike. And when he finally appeared, everything we thought we knew about the bloodline changed. Roman Reigns had been away, his empire crumbling piece by piece. The Usos fractured. Solo tried to step up, but every week, the cracks widened. And then, on SmackDown, the impossible happened. Roman returned, not alone, but with the most dangerous weapon his family had ever held. The air was thick with tension as the music hit. Fans expected reconciliation, maybe even confrontation. What they did not expect was Jacob Fatu standing shoulder to shoulder with Roman, eyes burning with purpose. The Og bloodline was being reborn, and its first target was already marked. At first, Solo smiled. There was relief in his eyes, a brother seeing his family come back together. For a fleeting moment, it seemed like unity was possible. Roman embraced Solo, whispered in his ear, and the crowd erupted with hope. But hope has a cruel way of dying in WWE. The moment shifted. Jacob Fatu moved behind Solo, his presence looming like a shadow. Roman's eyes turned cold, and before Solo could react, the storm hit. Fatu unleashed a savage assault, throwing Solo across the ring like a ragdoll. It was not just an attack. It was an execution. Fatu's offense was merciless, his strikes landing with the weight of betrayal. Roman stood tall, watching, his expression unreadable. The crowd was stunned into silence before erupting in disbelief. The tribal chief had chosen sides, and Solo was left in ruins. For years, Solo had been the loyal soldier. He took the beatings, did the dirty work, and never questioned Roman's authority. And yet, in one night, loyalty was repaid with brutality. Jacob Fatu had cemented his place as Roman's new enforcer, and Solo was cast aside like yesterday's weapon. The commentary team tried to make sense of it. Fans screamed betrayal. Social media exploded with one word repeated over and over: why? Why would Roman turn on his blood? Why would Jacob Fatu debut in destruction rather than unity? The answer lies in power. Roman Reigns has always surrounded himself with the strongest. When he looked at Solo, he saw potential. But when he looked at Jacob Fatu, he saw certainty. In Roman's mind, the bloodline could not afford weakness, and Fatu was the most dominant warrior of their generation. Backstage whispers paint an even darker picture. Some say Roman never fully trusted Solo. Others claim Fatu's arrival had been planned for months, with Paul Heyman pulling the strings behind the scenes. Whatever the truth, one thing is clear: this was not a random betrayal. This was a calculated strike. For Solo, the emotional weight cannot be understated. He grew up idolizing Roman, protecting the family name, and now finds himself abandoned. The one man he trusted most stood by while he was destroyed, replaced without hesitation by a cousin more brutal, more feared. The locker room, too, feels the ripple. Some wrestlers see Roman and Fatu's alliance as unstoppable. Others whisper about fractured trust, worried that if blood can be turned on so easily, what hope does anyone else have? The WWE Universe, meanwhile, is torn. Some hail this as the rebirth of the Bloodline, a darker, stronger version led by Roman and reinforced by Fatu's savagery. Others see it as the beginning of the end, where betrayal will tear the family apart from the inside. What cannot be denied is the raw emotion of the moment. Watching Solo crumpled in the ring, betrayed by the family he bled for, was a gut punch to fans who had seen him grow into his role. Betrayal cuts deepest when it comes from those you love most. Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu walked out together, leaving a broken Solo behind. No words, no apologies, just dominance displayed in its coldest form. It was the exclamation mark on a story years in the making. And yet, the story does not end here. For every betrayal, there is revenge. For every fall, there is a rise. Solo Sikoa may be broken today, but the fire of betrayal often burns hotter than loyalty ever could. His journey now shifts, not as a protector of the bloodline, but as its greatest threat. As fans, we are left wrestling with questions of family, loyalty, and legacy. What does it mean when blood turns on blood? What happens when history is rewritten not with pride, but with scars? The Anoa dynasty has always been about strength, but strength comes in many forms. Roman believes his strength lies with Fatu. Solo must now prove that his strength lies in survival, resilience, and perhaps, vengeance. This moment will go down in history as a turning point. The night Jacob Fatu joined Roman Reigns and destroyed Solo Sikoa was not just about dominance. It was about betrayal. It was about the cost of legacy. It was about what happens when trust is shattered beyond repair. In the end, the bloodline is more than gold, more than titles, more than victories. It is family. And when family breaks, the world watches. What we saw tonight was not just wrestling, it was heartbreak. It was betrayal. It was blood turned bitter. And that, wrestling fans, is the tragedy and the power of the bloodline story. A family united by history, destroyed by ambition, and forever remembered for the night Jacob Fatu chose Roman, and Roman chose betrayal.